And we're back, and we're outside. It's very cold out here. I didn't check the temperature, but I'm gonna guess that it's 26 degrees. Let's see how close I am. 23, wow. Feels like negative 20. Anyway, you know, the original existing driveway, we had to, you know, cut it back a little bit, and we poured this nice sidewalk area, as well as, you know, your kind of third parking area is tapered upward. But this, you know, other than that little minuscule step right there, this is flat with the deck that we built. And then this again was our aging in place thinking, where, you know, it's a nice flat transition that comes around, and then only one step into the residence. So that makes it really easy for aging in place. If you look around on some of the exterior shots, you'll see these beautiful corbels that we had installed everywhere. This is just, you know, in the eyebrow section, but it's pretty much in all of the gable ends and everything like that. I'm also going to show you, you know, that we have this deck here. We're probably about 3 foot off the ground, maybe 4 foot from the existing grade. So we actually had to build a retaining wall. There was one there, but it was starting to fail as the existing retaining wall that was built however many years ago. So we rebuilt it, and it looks phenomenal. Has a great cap on it. Beautiful railing system. The decking and the railing that you see here is the same deck and rail that's on the second story deck that we showed you with the swing doors.
My wife and I have loved living on this property since '98, and we were able to raise our daughters here, which we are just feel so blessed to have been able to do that. And then came the notion of, well, what if we sold one of our daughters the existing home and turned this building into our carriage house, or the accessory dwelling unit as it's known. And it worked out. So now we get to be very much a part of our daughter's family's life and get to help raise 2 beautiful granddaughters. We were working with an architect that I worked with at work for quite a while. And when it got time to select a builder, one of the things we recognize is this site has quite a few challenges. And I've been in building for a while through Habitat, and I recognized the unique challenges that this property presented. It's a very small property. It's got power lines right up alongside of this building. It has a creek right alongside. So we needed a builder who was not only qualified to build the building, but was able to be creative and work through some of the unique challenges this site had to offer. And when we did our interviews, it was clear that Hume was the choice for us.
Okay, so I'm standing in front of a really intricate part of the site, that there is a creek that runs to the lake. So the creek starts and it comes beneath the main highway that's right here, and it actually runs all the way through, kind of underneath their existing house that was behind this beautiful house that we built. But some other site conditions that we dealt with was all these power lines. You can see that the power lines are so close to this house that we had to have a tons of different of equipment while framing and finishing, to putting the siding up. It required so much equipment that we needed to make sure that our guys were safe. But it came out really nice. We have some siding here, the double 4 lap siding on the base, and then cedar shake above, so it adds a nice detail element. You can actually look up and see the stained glass window through that one window that we talked about that's in the stairwell. So that, you know, that you were able to see that from the outside is beautiful as well.
Yeah, it was a great challenge. I think one of the things that it took me all the way through the project to learn how to articulate, Shawn, was this reality. As much as I've been around building, our houses that we built at Habitat were simple, affordable. This house was more a crafts house, right, with some unique features which you filmed and have been discussed. So it was I was in and out of my lane a number of times. Certain things were pretty standard to me, and then certain things were completely brand new. So I was really glad that I had that base of knowledge, but also an understanding and a good relationship with Hume. So when we were in new territory, for me, it still felt very comfortable.
So now we're at the back of the house. We have some beautiful pavers that we put in. Nice little stone retaining wall to keep all that stone right there. You can see the back side of the retaining wall here, how the posts and the deck joists were lifted off the ground. A nice little stepping stone right here, along with a new concrete pad. We have some very beefy columns that, you know, they just look good. Nice, strong columns. A nice French door right here. Almost juked you out right there. Nice French door right here, so you can open these both up and get whatever equipment you need. This would go directly into the basement. But yeah, this is going to be a nice little area to sit in during the summer too. I wouldn't sit in here right now. We're going to do one more cut, and you're going to see where am I going to show up next. Who knows? We'll see.
Just having retired from Habitat for Humanity, I've been working in construction, around construction for 12, 13 years. And there's a spirit that comes when you work with guys who are working in the field. And that was very true here. So I wanted to be a part of that and show my appreciation for it. So one of the things my wife and I decided we would do is treat each group that came through to some kind of food, bought them lunch or pizza or ice cream. We really wanted each group to feel welcome on our property in our home. We did that in a couple of different ways, but really had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed working with the subs, working with the team from Hume. Anyone who came on this property, we wanted to make sure they felt welcome and very much like they're a part of building our forever home.
So now I'm standing on the second story deck, and this has the same deck finish and the same deck railing system that we had on the first story deck that was at the walk-in entrance. But man, I wish you guys could see this view, because this is so cool. I can only imagine how awesome it's gonna be sitting out here during the summertime and enjoying a nice cup of coffee, enjoying the nice cool breezes of the lake.
You know, if you're going to build a house, there's a million decisions. Everybody knows that. That's kind of in the lexicon of anyone who's built a house, passing the baton on to the next family. And you need to be able to make decisions quickly. That's fine. I think people know that. I think it's really important that you find that contractor, Hume, who you know when you're facing these decisions, that they have your core throughput in mind, right? So as Matt got to know us, Tom, all the rest of the team, as they got to know us, you could hear that reflected in how they even asked the questions, you know, kind of leading, hey, we know you're heading towards this, here's the challenge, here's how we think we can get you where you want to be, right? So it was neat to see how they took our values and made them theirs.
Here's your beautiful retaining wall. It's got a nice cap on it, concrete cast in place. Oh!
Yeah, that's why we should not go down.
Slippery! This is a very good lake house home that was built. So stay tuned for any other projects that we have going on. And be on the lookout for any B-roll. So, yeah. Can I leave now, Shawn? I'm gold.